Hi guys, I believe the SNP is in serious trouble at the moment, potentially. Unless they get a very competent leader, somebody who can unite the party behind their main goal, and as my friend Indy Truck Davy says, keep their eye on the prize, there's a risk that the party will implode. With Nicola Sturgeon leaving, what remains is a massive vacuum. Now, she was a uniter. She had her detractors, but she did a wonderful job keeping the party together. Now, a replacement has to be found, and the current Finance Secretary, Kate Forbes, certainly isn't that. Have a listen to this interview.
Do you back a legal system of gender self-identification for 16-year-olds?
I don't support self-ID or self-identification. And so in terms of the bill, I think that there is scope to revisit the bill, because I do think that we do need to see reform of the Gender Recognition Act. We do need to make it a less onerous process. But I think that's going to require a grown-up debate and discussion with the UK government.
Okay. I think this has sunk her chances. A grown-up debate with the UK government. A grown-up debate with the Tory government. Now, you can... Look, the whole point of this bill was that it was a Scottish bill. It didn't require negotiation with the UK government, and members of the SNP and those who have been backing it have been saying that there has been debate over this for 6 years. I find her deeply dishonest here, and this is not what you want in a leader. I understand politicians will lie, politicians will twist the truth, but you want somebody who can at least be honest on the basics. And she's sounding like Boris Johnson, or she's sounding like Liz Truss here, a dishonest individual. This debate has been going on for 6 years, and it doesn't require negotiation or a debate with the UK government. The UK government had no problem with his bill until it was sent for royal assent. Then they decided we're going to pull the plug for political reasons. They haven't explained, they haven't presented the legal evidence to say how this infringes upon the Equality Act. So she's falling into a Tory trap here. She should know better.
To look at what amendments are required to make it compatible in their minds.
So you won't take forward the legal challenge against the UK government. You appreciate that puts you on the same side of the debate as the Tories and the opposite side of the debate as Nicola Sturgeon.
Well, at the moment, my aim is to try and govern in a way that inspires confidence of the people of Scotland. Right now, what the people of Scotland say that they are deeply concerned about is the cost of living, about the NHS, and I think our focus should be on those issues. Okay,
it is quite disappointing. She's sounding exactly like a Tory or a member of the Labour Party in Scotland. If you cut off this last part of the interview, she would sound exactly like a Tory or a member of the Scottish Labour Party, saying, "Yeah, we need to focus on the NHS and cost of living." And she didn't mention independence here. She didn't say how, well, if we were independent, we would be able to resolve these problems better than we can currently. We would be able to raise finance ourselves. But no, she talked here, elect me and I'll focus on the things that the Tories have been telling us to focus on. Now, when she began her campaign, if you want to call it a campaign, to replace Nicola Sturgeon, she received a lot of support from members of the Scottish Party, the SNP, members of the party, but also MPs in Westminster from the SNP. But some of them have pulled back on their support, and I think it was interesting that Stephen Flynn, who's the SNP leader in Westminster, posted this on Twitter: "Love is love." So he doesn't support her, and I think she's going downhill pretty quickly. She's a fundamentalist Christian as well. She was asked about gay marriage, and she said that marriage is between a man and a woman, but she wouldn't stand in the way of marriage equality. See, the problem with that is that you are the head of the party, you represent the party. And if you have a particular personal position, it's very difficult for you to separate yourself from that. Politicians can separate themselves from their own personal opinions when they're implementing legislation. But when it comes to fundamentalist Christians, it's a bit more difficult, I think. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.